Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 64. Today we will be battling with Draven Rumble in a deck we are dubbing You Might Like It. And so, before we dive on in, this is a little peeve of mine that I just pulled up here, and it makes me a little sad that things work like this. But as everyone knows, seasonals has come and gone, and I was curious, who won, what were the deck lists, what happened there, what's going on, and things like that. And so I was like, oh, cool. Well, let's do this. Let's pull up the Play Runeterra site. I bet I can click on the competitive thing, and it's like, oh, there's nothing. Okay, so maybe if we click on the news button, there'll be a news. No, it's just the gen reveal. Okay, so maybe I'm just missing it. So it's like we search for LOR Seasonals winner. The most recent thing is something for Magic Misadventures. That's not so good. So let's just search for the past week. Of course, the server errors things gets an article, but nothing else comes up here. That's unfortunate. Okay, maybe if we go look at Mastering Runeterra, someone here has compiled the winners and they put something together. Looks like it's not wanting to load, but here we go, the Monday Meta Report, some latest articles and things, but nothing in regards to seasonals. And like that's ultimately like from my point of view, and what I really kind of like recommended as a player is you have to go and just turn on the stream. And if you don't, like, I don't even know if it got out there. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. I didn't have the opportunity to do it. Do as I say, not as I do. But just go and turn on the stream. If you can't watch it, just leave it sitting on there in the background. And if you do get to watch it and enjoy it, great. If Riot really wants to build the community out around this thing, then we have to get involved and try to be a part of it and get that kind of symbiotic relationship going, if you will. But if you want to follow up on it, if I tell my Magic friends or my Hearthstone friends or whoever, hey, the seasonals event just happened, come here and check out this coverage and see if that's something you'd be interested in. Like, the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, if I wanted to come out here and create some content around seasonals, what am I supposed to do? And it's just absurd to me that's the way it is. It's just like so many things are just like right there within the grasp if you just do the basic level of work, and nobody's doing it. And so I don't know. Legna put out some cool articles. Legna put together an article that he went and did the analysis on all the gameplay and everything. Looked really sweet. Glad somebody's doing something, but fuck me, dude. Like, if you're actually trying to make something out of this, at least put forth the bare minimum effort. Say, surprise, these people won. Here are the decks they did. Discuss amongst yourselves. Like, it just fucking blows my mind that that's the way that it actually came out here and went about. But nonetheless, all rants aside, we can come in here and talk about this Draven Rumble deck. And so this one is more of just a brew, not so much a polished turd, but just one fresh in the toilet, loads of corn in it and stuff. And kind of the idea with this and where this has come about was across some of the testing we've done over the past few days. And so we've played some matchups against the really like aggro Rumble decks, and the problem with Rumble is you get this big spell shielded, quick attacking, impacting dude, and then your opponent just blocks it with a 1/1. And so, if you're really looking to chunk in this damage with Rumble, you need to give him Overwhelm. He's very ineffective if he doesn't have Overwhelm. Now, if we kind of pair that with some of the ideals that we had of our Pirates deck from Seasonals, to where we're playing with Zap Sprayfin and including Might. And so the idea within that was, we're playing Nox and Fervors, but we can also play a single copy of Might. So if we need to give a Stun Spider Overwhelm, if we need to give a Jack the Winner Overwhelm, if we're hitting with, a 4-attack unit, and our opponent blocks it with a 1/1, that's a good opportunity to get 6 damage in with a Might. And so that has been kind of lingering in my brain. And then in our previous video, as we were talking about Gen and reminiscing on Magic and talking about the usages of tutors and some of the tutors that problems can cause, and the likes of Stoneforge Mystic and Breeding Pool decks running through modern formats, and that just kind of like lingered in my head. And like, well, what is there out there to tutor for, right? There aren't too many tutors in this game, but we can come out here and play a card like Zap that's gonna draw a card that costs draw a spell that costs 3 or less. If we only play one spell that costs 3 or less, we're just gonna draw that every time. And so I kind of just had like all of those ideas circulating in my head between playing Rumble, using Might with Rumble, wanting to use Zap, trying to find a good spell to tutor up, and this kind of like cycle of things all felt pretty good. And so we're trying to, come out here and test and take advantage of this 3-card cycle of using Zap, using Rumble, and then using Might. And so with those ideas in mind, that does put us into this kind of like needing to be discard-centric style deck. If we're a deck wanting to also take advantage of Might, and we have to be in Noxus Bilgewater, that does kind of land us in this really aggressive shell, which is probably just downright where you want to be anyways if you're trying to take advantage of Rumble, right? We're not trying to be a value deck here. We're trying to play a Might on Rumble and hit our opponent for 7 damage unannounced. And so that does really kind of lend itself to an aggro deck. And so if we're looking to kind of play towards the discard aggro theme, Draven is a fantastic addition in those terms, especially in the sense that this is a nice backup target for the Mights. He usually just gets blocked by the opponent's smallest unit because he's going to quick attack him down. So he's a good backup for the Might. He has the discard synergies going on, so we can discard a spinning axe to Rumble, or we have the other kind of discard-centric cards running around here in the Fallen Rider and the Reborn Grenadier. Outside of that, you're really just going to see this big, Pirates-esque aggro package for the early game. We're packing the 9 regular 1-drops along with the Reborn Grenadier, a high-quality collection of 2-drops with the Legion Grenadier, Imperial Demolitionist, and Mirai Warden. And then we're having a single copy of Kato as our oh shit, the game went long kind of card. We better end this one on turn 6 fast. And then we're playing the 3 copies of Decimate as the way to go over top of the board and pull in our wins. And so that is the deck. That's what we'll be doing battle with here in Battles with Bust number 64. I checked out the deck list. Everything is premium except Zap, so we're good in that sense. And we are ready to go. So let's jump on in. Get up in this Master's queue, see what we can do with this today. Pretty cool stuff. What is this? Lux Jace? I've been kind of interested in playing with some Lux these days. I haven't brought myself to do it. There's just some like really... I just like throws me back to Expedition and those times when you're playing with the 6-cost unit generators in the Lux. But here, I think we want to keep Rumble pretty much every time. Otherwise, we're just looking to do our kind of standard pirate strategy to where on the first 3 turns of the game, for the first 6 mana that we spend, we want to spend it all on units. And it shouldn't be too tough to do with a deck like this. I could, I guess, see an argument for actually getting rid of this Grenadier, because it's super important to just have the 1-drop. But we'll let that mistake slide and just move on to the next turn. We'll act like we didn't make a mistake here. Next thing we always talked about with Pirates is if you're not sure which unit to play, just put down the one that puts the most stats on the board. And the opportunity for that one is going to be this Mirai Warden. This does have the potential to spawn a 2-attack unit, so we potentially get 4. And then our opponent is likely on sort of a Mystic Shot turn here. And so if their play for the turn is Mystic Shot, I would rather them Mystic Shot the Mirai Warden, let us chunk in for just a little bit more damage, as opposed to just dropping the Grenadier and having him eat a Mystic Shot. I'll block off this board if we get the opportunity. Not a super optimal space to be blocking, but we need to get some shutdowns here. Ooh, Progress Day. And so I'm going to discard everything that isn't Kato the Arm Progress Day. Doesn't matter what turns up, that's what we're doing. So Fallen Rider, Demolitionist, Decimate. There we go. Almost clicked on Progress Day. So now their blocks shouldn't be too optimal. The Forge Worker will die to one of our smalls. Shouldn't have too many good answers to Rumble. And now we can ideally get a a big open attack in next turn with on our next attack token, I should say, with Kato the Arm plus the Rumble. Does everyone know what time it is? Kato time. Yeah, I miss that guy. He was so fun in Expedition. He was just way too good. All right, here comes the squad. Okay, we get in for the 5. We're looking a little short on the lethal for the follow-up attack, but this should be a real pain in the dick for him to deal with. He can't flip his Jace or anything this turn. He's only going to have 5 mana. Shouldn't have great answers to Kato the Arm here. I'm feeling pretty confident that we'll get the attack in. And then an interesting addition in Might. Now we can double Might the Rumble. Not really excited about his pass. If he even just has a concerted strike, he can take down Kato. But I don't quite remember their removal suite. I think they play thermogenic beams. Okay, okay. Here come the booms, dude. We're unfortunately only going to get in for 7, but we did just draw the decimate to seal the deal. If we ever, I mean, we can just like pivot, and I made all these assumptions that he's just going to block Rumble with Lux. We can also Might Kato the Arm to just have him try to overwhelm through as well. Well, it's currently lethal with Rumble, right? 8. We'll get a +3 from Might. The -5 will turn into a -8 over here on the left. I don't think they play any heal in these things. Okay. We beat back-to-back. We'll just Might Kato now. Check all these animations, bruh. Glad you got to watch the movie. Is that the way we'd want to go about it? I mean, it is nice to... Ooh, this is gross. I thought this was going to be better than it was. He picked up +4/+4 realistically, not just +3/3. I thought we were going to be able to overwhelm a little bit stronger. So he's got a final spark. I think we just have to take down the Lux. This is only going to be a +2 either way. And that does get him within decimate range. Okay. Should get a Mecha Yordle out of this as well. Yeah, check my animations, bruh. It's fucking Rumble time. Alright, he has this final spark, so we won't add the Mecha Forcer or the Risen Rider. Oh, he is playing it right now. Okay. Maybe we will slam down the squad. Opens us up to cards like Shock Blast a little bit, right? If he gets to double up on some of our units, but I think we'll be okay. We got Decimate ready to steal the show. All right, here comes my power spike, bruh.
Here we go.
Has to feel pretty good dropping shock blasts on the Mecha Forcers. Here it is. Mark it a W. Go ahead and mark it. Get it over here on my screen. GG. I knew we had it in it. I love it though when we have like the purpose of the deck just show up in the first game. So if you all just like watch the first game and quit, then you get to see the cool stuff happen. Pretty sweet. So man, I got to go full man mode yesterday. I made mention of getting to do it. I finally did it. Fired up the grill. It was so good. It was so upsetting though. Like I was looking to prepare a feast for the family, you know, and then The wife and kids were just kind of out and eating Chick-fil-A and Dairy Queen and shit. And so it's like I put in all the effort, but then nobody wanted it. So it's like, well, fuck, I'm still gonna enjoy it. This is still gonna be good to me. Okay, okay, and I tell you, it was good. Those grilled meats, especially meat on a stick. That's the way to do it right there. Whoever came up with meat on a stick was a fucking brilliant dude, brilliant lady. Who knows who came up with it? Maybe it was a team effort. Man and woman get together. They say, "I bet these meats would taste better if they were on a stick." They were fucking right. All right, Legion Rearguard doing your thing. See how scary this is. This spooky karma, as people used to call it, who haven't seen in ages. But they tend to play all of the kind of like heal removal spells. So they have a bunch of like Vile Feasts and a bunch of Grasp of the Undyings. A lot of like really annoying cards when you're just out here trying to play face aggro. Eye of the Dragon fits right in the theme of cards that are just no fun. I can already tell this guy. He says, "I can't wait for Friday to get here. I could get out my chessboard, just play chess by myself." That's what all these people do. Anytime Shadow Isles shows up, that's just what I think in my head now. It's like, I bet this guy likes to play chess by himself. I can't believe it. One of these days, we're actually going to play a deck that has like a Vile Feast in it, and it's just going to be brutal. It's like an Expedition where I just like shit on how unfun Kindred was for, I don't know, a good 6 months, and then new cards were printed. Kindred kind of fell into the background, and then we started to play him a little bit. And it was like, I hope you all just forgot about all those videos where I was just trashing on Kindred and how not fun he is, because that's what we're doing now. See, look at this, Grasp the Undying. I told you. I knew what this guy was going to be about. Ugh. Ugh. Well, this is a world where a spell shielded overwhelming rumble is going to look pretty good. Maybe he'll make an appearance. Got our mites ready for action. He's got to play some spells, right? He's got to get this Eye of the Dragon going. Play your spells, dude. Maybe he'll play a Vile Feast and Nopify it, just so he can get the dragon on board next turn. Plays right here, next level plays. You're getting him fresh from FTP Bust. I bet this is going to be a fun one. Oh, called half of it. Where's that? Where's that Nopify at? Not yet. Alright, you can hit me for a damage. I take it. Whoa, and the Eye of the Dragon. That's insane. This is just a Twin Disciplines? Has to be a Twin Disciplines. Okay. I'm not just going to like open him up to getting the second spell. But let's do some cool stuff. We got all the mites anyone could need now. We're going to start chunking those in this combat. We have the 3 mana because of the attunes. And then, we can get on this burn plan a little bit. I like it. Your attack is obvious, bro. It's like, I want a spinning axe, but it feels kind of scary. It's like, if we get hit with another like removal spell, this is pretty awkward. I guess we could have like spinning axed onto Zap, but Twin Disciplines, okay. We expected it. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way now. Make up for missing it. I just like don't want to miss out on the point of damage, and I do want to play the upgraded Risen Rider next turn. Got him to 9. Okay. Got this dum-dum making dragons now, but one problem at a time. Okay. We can realistically have a board where you just can't block with the dragon next turn. I mean, we're going to play the Risen Rider. It would be nice if we had a discard for this Grenadier, but that's not going to happen. The new question is, do we want to add a Legion Saboteur? I mean, probably. It's not... It's not unreasonable to think that he can't... have like another Twin Disciplines or something to boost an attack. Yeah, we have 8 mana. Okay. Let's bring it. Gonna drop the other Might through the Dragonling here. We can technically get a lethal with the Decimate if things go our way. Okay. Gets him down to 6. This one's probably out of reach at this point, but we'll see what turns up. Did not have high expectations though against the against the Glimpse from Beyond deck. This is just like what you saw when the game was initially released, and there was like the control decks of the format where people were just playing like literally every single card that had life gain attached to it, and then they would play like War Mother's Call. That was it. Okay. This is definitely one of those spaces, though, where having Nox and Fervors would have been ideal. If you can counterspell the Glimpse from Beyond with a Nox and Fervor, prevent the life gain, and still get a bit of extra damage in. It's kind of nice. But so do you all ever just like, you're sitting there, you're like, man, I need something to watch on the old television. You're flipping through HBO and you see Game of Thrones and you're just like, fuck, you know? It's like, it's what your parents say to you, right? It's like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. And that's just like the ultimate reaction to how Game of Thrones feels. It's like, man, you were so good, and then you just fucked it up so bad. It's like, I can't be mad. I'm just disappointed in you, dude. What a fucking waste that was. I was scrolling through looking for something new to find last night, and saw the old Game of Thrones pop up. It's like I'm still half tempted to go back and watch a lot of it. Like I thought it was one of the great shows to actually go in and rewatch. Like you understand like a lot of the nuance between the characters after you've already seen it, and things you get to kind of see in a different light, and a lot of the interactions are more interesting when you actually know what's coming on, and you don't have to just like tunnel vision in and try to like figure out what the important things are after you've already caught a piece of it. And, is ultimately I convinced the wife to watch Game of Thrones like leading up to maybe season 7. I think that's about when I got her to watch it, but she never got to do like the second watching of anything because those final seasons were just such garbage. It's like, how do you convince somebody to go back and rewatch it when you just like know like the quality's gonna plummet off a cliff? But I don't know. Maybe there's hope for the prequels or something. Maybe. One can dream. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're making prequels. All right. Now Rumble has made an appearance. This is like slightly awkward. I want to like keep all of these cards, and so we just won't play a unit. We'll bank up a bunch of mana. That was one of the draws that would kind of alleviate some problems here in the Fallen Rider, but that's all right. Curious if we ever should have just kept Rumble there. Like they're like pretty capable of like popping the spell shield and getting a kill on him. And so then we could just be ready with the second one that's already going to be leveled up. We could have potentially gotten rid of Kato the Arm, but it's like I want to hang on to Zap because I want to get the Might, and then I want to hang on to Kato the Arm because this is going to like present us with a fantastic open attack on our next turn. We'll see what happens here. The Blighted Ravines don't pop the spell shields, but they do still do the damage. So if he has a second Blighted Ravine, then he'll have an answer to Rumble. But let's see what he plays. Maybe he just plays like Trundle here or something. Ugh. Oh, is he really going to have a second one? Okay. At least Kato survives it. Fucking people. Good job, dude. Oh, and the box. Alright, good job. Well, that was fun. That's always a fun matchup to play. This is the way all these videos have been starting out now. It's like we come out and play our Go White aggro deck, and it's like, oh, cool, you're just playing the least fun decks ever invented. Good job, dude. Good job. All right, the Teemo Tristana. Maybe big baby boy watched our previous video. He said, I gotta give that one a shot. I gotta have some fun with that thing. There we go. There's a big curve. Won't recommend this Face Sprout on the first turn, but to each their own. Where's my axe? And this is kind of an awkward space for this deck, right? They have a ton of early plays, and so it's pretty realistic that they can drop something down here. But it's just usually just like a Grandfather Fae and then the Bandle Commando. And so it's not going to interact super well with this, but I think we'll get in more damage with the Saboteur plus the Precious Pet as opposed to going for a Grenadier. This reads as 5 damage. 3 from the Saboteur, 2 from the Pet. It's only 3 on the Grenadier.
I have my orders.
Almost skipped the turn. Almost skipped it. All right, well, let's see if he hit any lanterns. That's going to be his big thing here. If he's able to drop a lantern and chain that off into some other shit, then we're going to have some problems. If he didn't hit the lantern, then we should be okay. Yep. This really? Kidding me? I don't particularly care about the Grandfather Fae, but we gotta... so many options here. Hang on. Nothing for 1 mana is going to shut this down. This is like entirely overly aggressive. He is 100% the control deck here and should just be loading up his board. No way he should be attacking there. All right, we'll take the open while we can get it. And then ideally on our next attack, we won't need combat damage to punch in, right? It's very easy for them to just drop lanterns and owlcats and shit to clog up the board. And so I don't suspect we're going to have a lot of safety. Let's drop the Grenadier. I don't want to go all in on this board, but I want to make sure we have like 3 cards for Rumble next turn. Okay.
Can't believe I named my mech after you. Wait, you did what?
So we should be okay here between Saboteur, Legion Grenadier dealing 1, Rumble dealing 1. That should be enough to punch in. They have some ways to get out of this stuff. They play Deny, which can be used to counter the little abilities. You can't Nopify these damage-based abilities, though. But see, this is exactly what I'm talking about, where he wasted his units. He just took way too much damage this game. He should have never been attacking on his previous attack.
Doesn't scare me.
Okay. Let's see if we get denied here.
Never see it coming.
Guess you could like block with Teemo and then pokey stick the Teemo. That'd be a way to prevent some of this damage. This is why the mites are so important. We ran into this all the time in Expedition. He has a deny, sure. Alright. You gotta make it to next round, Rumble. Gotta make it to the next one. Incoming, it's gotta be the incoming 4-2. It's gonna get overwhelmed. Oh no! Oh no, the mite just showed up. Okay. Thousand Tailed Saiyan's fine. We just can't have the lifesteal unit. Okay. And a Crescent Strike? Are you serious? This is such a horrible matchup, and I thought we were going to get it, and they played so terribly. Like, what? Wow. Wow.
Hold it together.
All right. All right. But that's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about in terms of whenever like these big events come up, like seasonals. Like I understand where my level of skill is. Like I know that I'm not going to be at the top of the ladder. You know, I might have a good run and spike up there, but I'm like most certainly not the best player at the game. But you know, if we go to an event like seasonals, I am good enough that if we run good and some people make some mistakes and some things go our way, then we can make a real push at it. And seeing games like that happen are kind of what reinforces it to me. In that, you know, it's not perfect, but you know, you're going to get some games where people don't play optimally. You're going to get some games where you high roll a bit, and then as long as you don't just play horrifically bad, then everything should be okay. Might be able to make a reasonable run.
You're interesting.
Oh, so brutal though. Fucking Crescent Strike off of a loping telescope. Alright, well let's see what old Aurelian Soul's gonna ramp into here this game. He hasn't dropped any of the old ramp cards on us just yet. Hopefully we don't get avalanched here, but we're not really in a space to where we can just give up this early. We have to get our attacks in where we can. Made a card cheaper. Is he just gonna Blighted Ravine us? Star Shaping. Okay. Is it coming up? Are we going to get to see the Targon's Peak here soon? Maybe that's the money cheapened up, was the Targon's Peak. That's scary. I'll play Zap. Like, it's just like, so, like, we would ideally be playing the Mirai Warden and the Legion Grenadier, but I think we, A, have to add something to the board. We aren't playing a deck where we can just pass with 4 mana up, and B, we have at least better follow-up next turn with the Warden Grenadier if he blows up our Zap.
Oh, I've never met anyone like you.
This is kind of okay if he has, like, the Blighted Ravine. We should get to punch in damage here. And have a safe unit in the Mourned. Alright, there's the Targon's Peak. Let's see what we're up against. We get the cheap Might, okay. Here comes Aurelion Soul. Oh, just another Targon's Peak. Okay. This is gonna be awesome. Oh, fuck me. 0 cost Blighted Ravine. Must be nice. Just can't catch a break today. Can't catch a break today, fam. Sure. Curious what's in your hand. Well, I guess you probably do want to play that all the time. It's like your random card's probably better than that thing hitting for 0.
Where's my axe?
Here comes the thunder, though. This is where we're really going to bring it. Guys, got more heal? Damn.
Nature is not more. I will.
Can punch in for like 6 with the mites. Look out. Look out. Uh-oh.
Okay, ready.
It's 11. We can kick it up to 12 if we want, but see how he responds. We get around most of the burn this way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we gonna do it, fam? And he's just sitting on the Ithid stairs? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hide for a
I'm
moment.
good.
Run forever.
Probably, it's tough. We probably shouldn't play the Morn here, but I did it. That's the that's the extent of it. I did it. Oh, oh, nice, nice. Feels good beating that shit. What was that, 1 Avalanche and 2 Blighted Ravines? Everybody's playing fucking Blighted Ravine these days. Learn to have fun, people. Learn to have fun. God. Need Riot to put out a patch that says aggro decks only. If you're one of these people that doesn't like to have fun, go play Gwent. That should be the official Riot stance. You wanna sit around and do math problems? Go play Gwent. I've never played it. It's probably, I don't know if it's like doing math problems or not, but I assume it is. People talk about how you have to make so many decisions each game, and that just sounds super boring.
Explosives primed.
All right, what's this guy doing? Victor Rumble? Double rumbles today. I like it. I like what's happening. He's not gonna have mites in his rumble deck. Alright, our boy shows up. Darknesses. Oh man. I thought this guy liked to have fun. Oh man, I was so wrong, DJ Marcus.
Who's gonna get in my way?
Did we go ahead and bring it? I don't think so. I'm like okay if he just goes ahead and darknesses our Draven. We're not gonna like use him for that much. We're still just playing Rumble next turn, and we want the spinning axe. And so if we get him to just go ahead and spend his mana now, that feels pretty okay. Okay. Yeah, the Demolitionist. Do we ever like want to discard the Decimate over the Demolitionist here? I mean, I think it's okay. So we do Fallen Rider, Decimate, Spinning Axe.
Baby, don't fail me now. Come on, baby.
Could never block this Bomber Twins, but this gives us a little bit more interactivity on the board. Because my question for next turn is like, do we have to open? We can get like reasonable attacks with the Demolitionist. Like the Risen Rider's always trading with Bomber Twins. Yeah, you're trading with everything. Okay. But he shouldn't have great answers to Rumble. Ooh, that was a great addition. We can hang on to the Risen Rider now. Maybe have him do some magic on our next attack. But I'm looking to just play the rear guard, both Demolitionists now. He could play like Victor, which makes it a little awkward. But if he keeps playing these smaller units, then that'll be fine. Like if he plays Victor, we just have to be like, okay, well, we'll just attack with Rumble. But if he continues on with like 2-drop, 2-drop, then getting trades across the board is pretty good. Fancier, sure. I do miss me a Pharaoh's Fancier. That's quickly become one of my favorite cards. I don't know what the deal is to where like Conchologist felt so much better than the Fancier. I think it's like the problem with Conchologist was that there was just like literally everything, and it was like immediately usable. Like having a 2-cost spell is almost always better than having a 6-cost spell, right? Because you're just more likely and frequently able to play it. But the amounts of complaints for a card that is, functionally the same thing, right? It was a 2/2 for 2, manifest and expensive, where this was a 2/2 for 2 manifest cheap. It's odd that people just aren't bitching about the Fancier. Squad. We're doing it, Rumble. Alright. We got a Rumble on board. Opponent has nothing, but opponent has, let's see here, 3, 6, 8 cards in hand. And so, you tell me who's at the advantage right now. You tell me. Oh, we got the fucking combo. It's us. We're at the advantage now. F&A. He's not gonna believe it. Not gonna believe it when it comes through. Whew. Uh-oh. Brings on his Rumble. What was that thing? Obelisk of Power. Oh, that would have been something generated by the 3/2 Bomber Twins. There we go. Shouldn't have to worry about this Flame Chompers here. I don't think there's anything that he's going to be bringing that that causes problems. I mean, he's generated a card like all across the board, so who's to say he doesn't have a combat trick from Conchologist or something, but I don't think we have to frequently worry about Flame Chompers causing problems. We play the Draven. It's interesting in that he just like he never wants, like, the spending axe isn't going to be relevant because we can't play it, right? But does he ever interact with him? Maybe. But we're short on the might this turn. So, I mean, it's a little dangerous. Gives him opportunities to, like, slow interact with Rumble. He does have, like, expensive stuff. Assembly line's okay. All right. If he ever Rumble blocks it. Like, he knows Draven can kill his thing. Pretty close to a lethal right there. Pretty close. Give me one of them good Yordles. Alright, we get the flip. That's the other thing with Might, right? We get the flip and then we get the impact, so we get the dude. Pretty cool. Alright, just got to make it the next turn. Bringing that heat, Rumble. You're bringing it. It says, give me something good. I gotta dig it. I gotta dig for it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's an awesome day for progress.
Hydrate. Get ready. Curious what you could get to win with that. Like, True Shot Barrage would be kind of annoying. Generate... Oh, those are... You can't generate the 5/1s. He's not playing Noxus. We were doing a lot of generating Legion Marauders and generating the 5/1 attackers. Expensive Bandle Cities. There's not a ton of. You can get Treasured Trash, but that costs 10. I guess Minimorph is always an option, but he can't Minimorph our Rumble. I think we might be okay.
Entering sleep mode.
Did we do it? The tension is high. The tension is high. Victor. I feel like we line up good against Victor. He's just digging for a lifesteal or something. Challenger. That's kind of interesting. You gonna prank our spinning axes? All right, Brodio, what you got for us?
Full throttle.
I mean, we're gonna... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's got our spinning axe. All right. Big squad attack coming in. Sumpworks map. Oh, that's spicy. Are we gonna die to a burn spell next turn? Aw, dude. Don't be like that. He's gonna take us to 2. He's gonna have a Mystic Shot, isn't he? Oh, no. We were so close. So close to doing awesome stuff. Sumpworks map. That's something we would do. Coming out here playing Sumpworks maps. Of course, we had an elusive off the Rumble hit. All right. I'm not feeling good about this anymore. Did we do it? Did we do it? Is he emoting early? All right, we did it. We did it. Whew. Whew. All right. Win number 3 under our belts. I thought we played 7 games. Maybe I missed one. I don't know. Maybe you get a bonus game today. We'll make it up to 8. At least 8 on the record board. I think I accounted for all of them. Just get so salty playing against all the Shadow Isles. You know, those games shouldn't count. Okay, Lysandra Talia. Again, I'm curious, like, I do love that Riot's starting to like sprinkle in the old, you know, kind of cards with the Frozen Thralls. They're printing some kind of new Frozen Thrall card in the upcoming set. I think it's fantastic that they're taking that approach. Oh, you gonna cupcake us? I cupcake you right back, bro. I know how to cupcake, but you know, just like littering that stuff in and sprinkling it in, like with the set. It wasn't even a set, right? Where they're just like, hey, I'm gonna print some cards because it's a Tuesday. Yeah, that stuff was pretty sweet when they put out the little elites package with a balance patch. It's so nice that they're coming out and doing stuff like it. You just can't do that shit with Magic. Nobody else does it. It's so wild. Nobody was ever like, let's just print a card in the middle of the day, you know? Fuck it. Let's put it out there. What is it? He's just physically playing Yeti Yearling. I had to stop and look at it and see what generated that. Nothing. He's just playing it. Alright. You're gonna get 2 dudes on the board this turn. So we'll have to make a decision, see how he spends his mana. I'm not entirely sure the removal suite that these decks play. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Quicksand, wouldn't be surprised to see a Harsh Winds. Want to see how much mana dude spends here right now, because I want to preemptively Spinning Axe, and so... fuck. I still want to get the big Risen Rider. I didn't think Avalanche was part of their removal suite, but apparently it is. Alright, Risen Rider coming in for 4, though. Don't think they should have too much interactivity for this. Waking Sands, that makes sense. Nice little shutdown. And the Rumble is here. Okay. Don't quite have the discard suite I want to use to get him on the board. So let's pick up a Spinning Axe. We'll probably play him next turn. Discard whatever we draw that isn't sap. Not suppressed. Suppressed.
Let's turn up the heat. Working as intended.
Alright, let's get him Rumble. Okay, well, I guess that's like at least minorly positive. He can still play a Talia here or something. If he gets the 8/8 on board, we're really going to be hurting, but yeah. Okay. All right. Good job. So, man, one point of interest I did mean to bring up was I started watching. There's a 3 Mile Island documentary on Netflix. That's what I started watching instead of turning Game of Thrones on. And there were like 2 things that struck me out of the first episode. That's all the farther I've seen in it. The first one is they let an engineer talk to people. As like absurd as it sounds, like watching a movie like Office Space and them having a guy whose job is to just talk to people for the software engineers, completely understand it. Engineers have no business talking to people in terms of like tragedy like this. That is the person that will go out there and just straight up tell you exactly what happened and how bad it is. And so it's like I'm watching the documentary. They bring out the people to make the initial press conference to here. We'll play the warden. Like if we get sniped by a Vile Feast, it just kind of sucks. But we have to have something go right. Yep. And so like they bring out the team, and it's like the like spokesperson, the media guy, and then the next one is like engineer, nuclear something committee, and I was like, this fucker is about to say something. I was like, this is gonna be good, and immediately the engineer goes out there and he says, there's radiation coming out of the smokestacks and spreading outside of the area of the power plant. And I said, boom, there's the engineer for us right there. And so then the spokesperson guy was like, are you fucking kidding me? He was like, he immediately just came out here and outed us in terms of what was going on. And now, I mean, should that have happened? Probably. But I loved it, and I immediately knew what was going to happen as soon as they put the engineer up there. Then the second thing was they just decided to not tell anybody. Not really ultimately surprised by that either. What with me, like I'm from West Virginia. I lived in Charleston for a little bit. I got a Marshall shirt on today. Marshall's in West Virginia. And when I lived in Charleston. That's the capital for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years. And we had a situation to where a chemical plant dumped a bunch of chemicals into the river. By all means, it was apparently unintentional, but that's what happened. Is they dumped a bunch of chemicals into the river. It's the Elk River chemical spill is what you can look up on Wikipedia. And basically, what happened was people downstream of the river or downstream of the chemical plant noticed that their water started to smell like licorice, and they're like, "Well, this is fucking weird. Can I drink this? Can I eat this stuff? What's going on with this?" And so the people start complaining to the water company. The water company's trying to figure it out. They trace it upstream because it smells like licorice upstream. And then the chemical plant company's just like, yeah, that's what happened. They said we had a leak. And it's like, did you ever consider maybe telling someone? And they're like, nah. And so like they start investigating it and everything. It's just been leaking for quite a while. It just wasn't leaking bad enough for people to notice. And so like they start going through all the investigation, and of course the chemical company's like, "Oh yes, we've been spending all day cleaning this up." And then the investigators go over in there and look at it, and they're like, "Y'all are fucking lying to us. No, you aren't. You don't have a single person out here cleaning this up. This is just a load of garbage and bullshit." And so I have personally and firsthand dealt with that stuff. Now, apparently, I meant to just concede this game. Apparently, the stuff that they leaked isn't toxic. You have to ingest quite a bit of it for it to be toxic. But when you have this chemical company just leaking shit directly into the water supply for like I think the number was 300,000 people, and then they're just like, yeah, we're leaking it, but it's just diluted enough to where it doesn't matter. And it's just like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. But that's like what I immediately drew a parallel to with these 3 Mile Island guys, and then being like, yeah, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it. You don't need to evacuate. Just close your windows. Close your windows, and everything will be okay. You won't get any nuclear material inside that way. Fucking A. But that was the last battle. That was not an interesting game. I got into story time because when you're playing Vigio and then they start with Vile Feast and Legion Rearguard, our deck's just never going to win. And so it wasn't that interesting. And so, yeah, I mean, in terms of the deck, a few different things to take away from it. We just played an abysmal set of games today. Not in terms of how we played. We played perfect, but I think we played against Blighted Ravine in half of our matchups, and in 5 of 8 matchups, we played against either some type of AoE or we played against like lifesteal cards like Drains. And so, you know, if that's the way your day's going, you're never gonna win with this. You know, if you're playing pirates, you're gonna get annihilated in those matches. If you're playing scouts, you're gonna get annihilated in those matches. It's just the kind of the nature of the beast. And so in terms of just running into that stuff, I'm pretty expectant of how our matchups turned up there. But you know, we weren't expecting big and great things out of this. Again, the idea with this deck, the idea of what we're putting forth here is, what if we're playing Zap Sprayfin to specifically pick up one card, and then how can we best take advantage of that one card? And, you know, in terms of great cards to be picking up at this stage of the game right now, there's not a ton, but Rumble is an interesting pickup, an interesting addition with this thing. And so you do have a couple of ways to kind of view it, right? You don't have to play no spells. You just have to play one spell that costs 3 or less mana, right? And so we can play Might, we can play Decimate. I was just thinking in my head, oh, cool, we can play cards like Aftershock. We can play things like the Reputation Burn spell, but it turns out one of those costs 3 mana and one of those is in P and Z, so we don't get to play any of that stuff. But, you know, the kind of the idea and the concept and the groundwork is here. And whether or not something turns up in the future that there's a better spell to take advantage of, there's a better champion that you can do this with, if there's some kind of combo that you can pull off with this stuff, the opportunity is there for something interesting to happen. And so we'll just have to kind of wait and see. I don't think Riot is really in the market for making tutors. I think we'll continue to see cards like Zap, to where you draw a card with some kind of effect. I think we'll continue to see Discover. We'll continue to see Manifest. I don't think we're ever going to see search your deck for a card. I don't think that that's ultimately the healthiest thing that you can have. And I think it's pretty interesting that this is how you're able to take advantage of digital cards, right? If we were playing Magic, you would have to do something like, say, we wanted to make Rite of Champions, whatever that 0 cost thing is, from Shurima that draws a champion out of your deck. Like with Magic, you would have to do like reveal the top card of your deck until you reveal a champion. Put that champion in your hand, shuffle those cards onto the bottom of your deck. Like you just physically can't do this shit in Magic. And I think this is one of the great things that Riot's taking advantage of in this draw type from your deck, Manifest, Discover, whatever. These are things that don't work out in Magic or in paper games whatsoever. But they do work out in the digital landscape. And so I think that's pretty interesting and cool. But, is this a fun deck? Absolutely. I really dug getting to slam with our rumbles here. And, the piratey kind of aggressive shell is always good enough just to be a ladder climber. And so we didn't have like an ultimately super successful day here. But if you're wanting to have funsies and climb the ladder with this beast, then by all means, it should be something that is more than capable to rack up some wins for you. But that is going to do it for us today. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. You might like the deck a little bit more. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.